Welcome back to another episode of TBH. I'm your host, Jay from thebeerheads.com. Let's get into today's review. We're going to Bend, Oregon to the Deschutes Brewing Company to review their seasonal release they just came out with, the 24th anniversary of their Black Butte Porter. It is Black Butte 24, 11% ABV Imperial Porter. This one should be around 55 IBUs, just like last year's batch of the 23. The only difference from the 23 is they use cocoa nibs just like 23, but in this one they're going to be using fig and dates, unlike the 23, which they used orange peel, chili peppers, and the cocoa nibs as well. Let's get this into a glass and I'll let you know what I think of Black Butte 24. You're definitely getting that nice amount of carbonation on the bottom of the glass, around a 1 finger, 2 finger, real tight, fluffy off-white, dark middish khaki head. Definitely a nice amount of carbonation bubbles streaming from the bottom of the glass on up. SRM color on this one is that dark black opaque midnight color, kind of some ruby red hues on the bottom of the glass. Definitely some nice lacing, a good amount of alcohol legs on there sticking to the glass and falling down. Definitely some nice huge alcohol legs. Expect that for your 11% ABV beer, but at the same time the head is still definitely sticking around. Definitely a nice amount of malts in this one, you guys. Man, this is awesome. You're definitely getting that nice roasted character in there, that complex of roasty coffee notes in there. You're definitely getting some nice dark malt that produces a nice chocolatey base, cocoa nib resiny quality in there. You're definitely also picking up some darker fruits, that date, that fig is in there, that nice sweetness of the nose from the fig. You're definitely getting that whole dark complex quality in this one. Definitely nice smelling. You don't pick up too much alcohol in the nose. Very well balanced in this one. Definitely a nice amount of hops in there that give you a nice little hoppiness, but at the same time, still nice dark complex characters of roasted coffee. Cheers, you guys. Wow. That is sweet. But that is nice. Ooh, that's really sweet though. Definitely a nice beer. You get a nice little amount of booze in the front of the palate, but it's balanced out with all that dark chocolate quality characters in there. That nice sweetness of fig. You definitely get in the middle of the palate. You start picking up sweet caramel notes. Definitely some toffee character. You get some of that date, dark fruit character in there. The sweetness though, the fig and the cocoa nib in here is just crazy ridiculous. Nice malty backbone in this one for sure. Not too much bitterness except on the back of the palate and the sides of the palate. You get a nice little bitter bite, but then it finishes well in the aftertaste of a nice just roasted sweet caramel character. Complexy dark sugars in there. Definitely nice tasting, you guys. Alright, so I'm going to be giving this one a 19 out of 20, making this a solid A beer from Deschutes. This is just phenomenal, just like last year's batch. Last year's I probably would say I prefer a little bit better than this year's, just because I got that nice orange zesty, peppery quality in there that gave it a little heat to it, but it was overall just fantastic. This one is another fantastic one. I'm going to have to say, it says best by 2013 after a certain date. You're definitely going to want to age this more than a year. I'd give this at least a year and a half. I've had some beers that had been aged for a year, and the alcohol is still subtle presence, but it's kind of balancing everything out. I definitely give this one at least a year and a half, maybe 2 years at most, just for that sweetness to die down and balance out that nice boozy character. Then it will just sit everything well. A little bit more of a darker fruit complex flavors will probably pop out of this one. It's definitely an excellent beer though. If you can get this one, I just say pick up on 5 bottles, sit on them, try one fresh, and then after a year try another one, and after a year after that try another one, and trade them probably. But other than that, you guys, another great beer review. Like I always say, live, learn, and drink. Till the next time, I'm going to enjoy my beer. You guys should do the same.